Daly, Daly, you're the architect of the after, turning the hard roads into joy and into laughter. From the shoulder of the road to the blueprint of the plan, you're the one holding the vision for all of the land.
Imagine sitting in a room in Philadelphia during the summer of 1776. The world's most powerful empire was on one side, and on the other was a small group of ordinary citizens trying to draft a blueprint for a nation that had never existed before. When George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and the other founding fathers gathered to draft the Declaration of Independence and later the Constitution, they weren't just writing nice speeches. They were acting as master architects. They knew that if you want a structure to survive long after you're gone, you cannot build it on quick fixes, temporary motions, or short-term comfort. You have to lay down foundational principles that are engineered to stand against time, pressure, and opposition. They understood that true freedom is never an accident. It is built by design. When you decide to rebuild your life after a hard season, set higher standards, or create a lasting legacy for your family, you are doing the exact same thing. You're declaring independence from your past and drafting a blueprint for your future. But to make it last, you have to build with structural integrity. If you're new to the room, welcome. I'm Dr. Daly. I'm an insurance agent, certified life coach, and author. My goal here is simple. It's to give you practical, everyday wisdom to help you rebuild your confidence, protect your peace, and step into your next chapter with strength. If you're ready to stop building temporary fixes and start designing a life that endures, hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications and give this video a thumbs up. You can find my full journey in my book, The Architect of After, on Amazon or at drnalidaily.com. Today we're connecting the visionary principles of 1776 with the core blueprint of my book. So drop an emoji in the comments if you are building a lasting legacy today. So let's dive in. In The Architect of After, one of the core foundational themes is learning how to stop living by default and start living by design. When the founders wrote the Constitution, they spent endless hours anticipating risks. They asked themselves, what happens when the storms hit? What happens when power is tested? How do we build checks and balances so the structure doesn't collapse? Early on in my journey, as I was working to build my career, raise my family, and navigate hard personal transitions, I realized I needed my own personal checks and balances. I was operating without a clear governance policy for my own life. I was letting external noise and unexpected circumstances dictate my direction. I had to sit down and write my own Declaration of Independence, a declaration that I would no longer be governed by fear, past losses, or other people's expectations. In my almost 20 years in insurance and risk management, I've learned that every solid structure requires a clear blueprint before the first brick is laid. If you don't define your core values, your non-negotiables, and your boundaries up front, the first major storm will blow your house down. You have to design a foundation that outlasts the trial. So here are 3 lessons from the founding blueprint. First, document your personal standards. The founders didn't leave the nation's values to memory. They put ink to paper. In your own life, write down your core principles. What are your non-negotiables regarding your time, your health, your faith, and your peace? When your standards are clearly defined in writing, You don't have to debate what to do when pressure arrives. You simply follow your blueprint. Second, establish personal governance and boundary systems. Just as the Constitution prevents any single branch from overriding the whole system, you need checks and balances in your daily life. Put limits on how much time you give to drama, schedule mandatory rest, and guard your mental energy. Boundaries are not meant to isolate you. They're installed to protect the integrity of your sanctuary. And third, shift your perspective from short-term survival to long-term legacy. Real architects don't build structures to get through the weekend. They build structures intended to stand for decades. Every choice you make today, every brick you lay, every habit you form, and every boundaries you enforce is contributing to the legacy for your children and your community. So stop building temporary shelters for your life when you're fully capable of designing a lasting estate of peace, strength, and purpose. Declare your independence from old patterns. Trust your blueprints and lay every brick with intention. If you want the full step-by-step guide to rebuilding your life, managing risk, and establishing an unshakable foundation, grab a copy of The Architect of After on Amazon or at drnallydaly.com. If this video inspired you to design your life by higher standards today, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share this video with a friend who is building for their future. Let's chat in the comments. Drop a comment below and type "Building by Design" to commit to laying a strong foundation this week. So until next time, keep your head high, lay your bricks strong, and live by the daily standard. I'll see you in the next video.
Daly, you're the architect of the after, turning the hard road